Today, we meet to remember the victims of the Shoah. Unto every person there is a name, gives names back to those who were stripped of their identities before they were robbed of their lives. By reciting their names along with their place of death, we remember that each victim was an individual, a son or daughter, a sister or brother, a child or a parent. Each had hopes and dreams, and like all people, each life was precious. We, the living, bear witness today, not just here, but in places around the world. Together, we affirm that the innocent lives lost in the Holocaust have not and will not be forgotten. Their names will always be remembered. B'nai Brit, in cooperation with Yad Vashem, coordinates this name reading program in the United States. Most of the victims remembered are supplied by Yad Vashem. However, to emphasize how the Holocaust touches many of us in a personal way, we also read names submitted to us by those in our local community. Elected officials from across the region, as well as students from Gesher JDS, Berman Hebrew Academy, and CES JDS, have joined us to read the names.
Chaim Katz, 43, USSR. Babruskisk Mogilev, Belarusia, 1941. Lena Stern, 77, Germany. Terezi Ungstadt, Czechoslovakia, 1944. Sally Stern, 51, Germany. Terezi Ungstadt, Czechoslovakia, 1944. Flora Meyer, 44, Germany. Terezi Ungstadt, Czechoslovakia, 1942. Rula Borzakowski, 40, Poland. Jablinka, 1942. Luba Borzakowski, 19, Poland. Jablinka, 1942.
Paisha Kretschmer, age 58, from USSR, killed in Batsavichi, Belarusia in 1941. Chasha Rubinchik, age 47, from USSR, killed in Sviloch, Belarusia in 1941. Natalie Israel, age 76, from Germany, killed in Theresienstadt, Czechoslovakia in 1945. Klara Goffman, age 39, from USSR, killed in Odessa, Ukraine in 1941. Hirsch Gradowczyk, 67 years old, from Poland, killed at Treblinka in 1942. Iosif Uzvitsky, 33 years old, from USSR, killed in Oryol, Russia in 1943. Yefim Volodarsky, 36 years old, from USSR, killed in Ukraine in 1941.
Miksa Kiss, she was 57 years old. She was from Yugoslavia, and she died in Budapest, Hungary in 1944. Libby Kleinman, she was only 25 years old, from Poland. She died in Belzitz in 1942. Floria Knobelman, she was 53 years old, from Odessa, and she died in Ukraine in 1941. Elka Klupanini was 48 years old, from Poland. We're not sure where Elsa perished, but she died in 1943. Jakob Christo, he was only 18 years old. He was from Poland. He died in Helmno in 1941. Burl Lodansky, 36 years old, from Lithuania, died in Lithuania in 1943. And Alexander Rabitz, 28, from Poland, died in Warszawa, Poland in 1943.
Regina Buzyn, 26, Poland, Treblinka, 1943. Yitzhak Bunim, 52, Belgium, Auschwitz, 1943. Mikhail Bernberg, 26, Poland. Belzec, 1942. Samuel Berlin, 39, Austria, Auschwitz, 1943. Fega Blank, 73, USSR, Berdyshev, Ukraine, 1941. Yuri Berger, 23, Hungary, USSR, 1944.
Malka Sabochnikov, 26, USSR, Berdichev, Zhytomyr, Ukraine, 1942. Riva Sapochnikov, 24, USSR, Berdichev, Zhytomyr, Ukraine, 1942. Rukul Sapochnikov, 20, USSR, Berdichev, Zhytomyr, Ukraine, 1942. Bluma Vertlib, 45, USSR, Antonovka, Polisa, Belarusia, October 15, 1941. Chaim Vertlib, 54, USSR, Antonovka, Polis, Belarusia, October 15, 1941. Abram Steinberg, 22, Poland Pinsk, Policy, Poland, 1941. Yakov Vertlib, 28, USSR, Köln, Rhine Province, Germany, April 13, 1945.
Reinhold Steibel, born in 1883, murdered in Sobibor, 1942. Claire Steibel, born in 1893, murdered in Sobibor, 1942. Herbert Steibel, born in 1921, murdered in Serbian Sabak Zasvika in 1941. Max Steibel, born in 1879, murdered in Smolkakan, 1939. Ferdinand Steibel, born in 1885, murdered in Teresen, 1943. Willie Steibel, born in 1887, murdered in Hadamar, 1941. Gertrude Steibel, born in 1892, murdered in Theresienstadt, 1943. Ella Florsheim, born in 1880, place of death unknown, 1941. Leo Rubinchik, born in 1894, murdered in Leningrad, 1942. Simon Rubinchik, born in 1923, murdered in Leningrad, 1942. Isoev Rubinchik, born in 1925, murdered in Leningrad, 1942. Meinhold Steibel, born in 1883, murdered in Sobibor, 1942. Claire Steibel, born in 1893, murdered in Sobibor, 1942. Herbert Steibel, born in 1921, murdered in Serbian Sabak Zasavica in 1941. Max Steibel, born in 1879, murdered in Schmalkalken in 1939. Ferdinand Steibel, born in 1885, murdered in Theresienstadt, 1943. Willie Steibel, born in 1887, murdered in Hadamar in 1941. Gertrude Steibel, born in 1892, murdered in Theresienstadt in 1943. Ella Florsheim, born in 1980, place of murder unknown, in 1941. Leo Rubinchik, born in 1894, murdered in Leningrad in 1942. Simon Rubinchik, born in 1923, murdered in Leningrad in 1942. Iosef Rubinchik, born in 1925, murdered in Leningrad, 1942.
Roland Cohen, 22 years old, from Athens, killed in Germany in 1944. Chak Kohn, 56 years old, from Poland, killed in Auschwitz in 1942. Leah Kohn, 50 years old, from Hungary, killed in Auschwitz in 1944. Jana Laub, 61 years old, from Poland, killed in Auschwitz in 1940. Neni Lazar, 25 years old, from Poland, killed in Majdanek in 1942. Erno Lautmann, 46 years old, from Banja, killed in Auschwitz in 1944.
Miksa Kiss, age 57, from Yugoslavia, killed in Budapest, Hungary, 1944. Libby Kleinman, age 25, from Poland, killed in Belzec, 1942. Flora Nobleman, 53, from the USSR, killed in Odessa, Ukraine, in 1941. Elka Krupieni, age 48, from Poland, was killed 1943. Jakub Krystal, 18 years old, from Poland, killed in Chełmno in 1941. Beryl Radinsky, age 36, from Lithuania, killed in Kaunas, Lithuania in 1943. Alexander Ravich, age 28, from Poland, killed in Warszawa, Poland, 1943.
Vladimir Kohn, born in 1917 in Minsk, Belarus, died near Leningrad in 1943. Slava Base Kohn, born in 1873 in Minsk, Belarus, died in Daikor, Minsk region in 1941. Esther Toledano, born in Istanbul, died in Poland in 1944. Rebecca Kami, born in Istanbul and died in Poland in 1944. Slava Zimmerman, born in 1881 in Lithuania, died in Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine in 1941. Abraham Zimmerman, born in 1912 in Ekatinoslav, Ukraine, died in 1942 in Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine.
Sonia Zisserman, born 1913 in Ekatinoslav, Ukraine, died in Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine in 1941. Milat Zisserman, born 1937 in Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine, died in Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine in 1941. Vera Zimmerman, born 1939 in Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine, died in Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine in 1941. Esha Belkin, born 1885 in Belarus, died in Bakavichi, Belarus in 1941. Nohim Belkin, born 1920 in Belarus, died in Bakavichi, Belarus in 1941. Faivel, born 1873 in Kursk, died in Kursk in 1941.
Liba Epstein, born in 1912 in Khashiki, Belarusia, died in Khashiki, Belarusia in 1941. Ida Epstein, born in 1915 in Krupki, Belarusia, died in Krasnoluki, Belarusia in 1941. Sonia Dekhtiar, born in 1921 in Lenel, Belarusia, died in Lenel, Belarusia in 1941. Pava Dekhtiar, born in 1923 in Lenel, Belarusia, died in Lenel, Belarusia in 1941. Moisey, born in 1869 in Peryodin, died in Mariupol in 1941. Raquel Rechtman, born in 1878 in Zaslav, Ukraine, and died on the road in 1941.
Mikhail Goldfarb, born in 1921, Zaslav, Ukraine, died in the army in 1944. Aaron Goldfarb, born in 1942, Bukhara, Uzbekistan, died in Bukhara, 1944. Polak Shura, born in 1894, Kiev, Ukraine, died in Babir Yar, Ukraine, died in 1941. Ozik Kugelman, born in 1894, Kiev, Ukraine, died in Babir Yar, Ukraine, 1941. Esther Kohn, born in 1914, Minsk, Belarus, died in Lithuania, 1941. Losif Kohn, born in 1906, Minsk, Belarus, died in Leningrad, 1943.
Yitzhak Sanovich was born in 1932 in Ostrowiec, Poland, and died in Treblinka in 1942. Sofia Aptekar Ignovnikova was born in 1905 in Kiev, Ukraine, and died at Babi Yar, Ukraine, in September 19, 1941. Senya Igolnikov was born in 1926, Kiev, Ukraine, and died at Babi Yar, Ukraine, in September 19, 1941. Galina Igolnikova was born in 1934 in Kiev, Ukraine, and died at Babi Yar, Ukraine, in September 19, 1941. Sima Lerner and 28 members of her family was born in 1970 in Gasin-Vinnytskaya Oblast and died at Babi Yar, Ukraine, in September 19, 1941. Lena Epstein was born in 1880 in Krasnoluki, Belarusia, and died at Kryki, Belarusia, in 1941.
Mikhail Goldfarb, born 1921 in Zaslav, Ukraine, died in the army in 1944. Aaron Goldfarb, born 1942 in Bukhara, Uzbekistan, died in Bukhara in 1944. Polek Shura, born 1894 in Kiev, Ukraine, died Babi Yar, Ukraine, in 1941. Ozik Kugelman, born 1894 in Kiev, Ukraine, died in Babi Yar, Ukraine, in 1941. Esther Kohn, born 1914 in Minsk, Belarus, died in Lithuania in 1941. Losif Kohn, born 1906 in Minsk, Belarus, died in Leningrad in 1943.
Bella, died in Mogilev, Belarus. Betya, died in Mogilev, Belarus. Leba, died in Mogilev, Belarus. Aaron, died in Mogilev, Belarus. Aaron Khan, born in Minsk, Belarus in 1920 and died in 1941 in Crimea. Chaim Kohn, born in Minsk, Belarus in 1912 and died near Minsk in 1941.
Adolf, born in 1924, Kursk, died in Poltava in 1943. Berta, born in 1896, Kraslava, died in Latvia in 1941. Riva Rosenfeld, born in 1882 in Vinnytsia region, Ukraine, died in Pechora camp in 1942. Dvora Koranian, born in 1880 in Vinnytsia region, Ukraine, died in Pechora camp in 1942. Rachel Govishvech, born in 1920 in Vinnytsia region, Ukraine, died in Pechora camp in 1943. Saul Walensky, born in 1859, Odessa region, died in Odessa region in 1941. Bathsheba Meyerson, born in 1960, Gordini, died in Chernuska in 1941. Pasera Bergman, born in Poland, died in Warsaw in 1944. David Bergman, born in 1923, Poland, died in Warsaw in 1944. Israel Shapiro, born in Forensica, died in Odessa in 1943.
Simon Rubinchik, born in 1943 in Leningrad, died in 1942 in Leningrad. Losif Rubinchik, born in 1925 in Leningrad, died in Leningrad in 1942. Abram Ersh Sosnovich, born in 1889 in Opatow, Poland, died in Treblinka in 1942. Esther Abasia Sosnovich, born in 1890 in Opatow, Poland, died in Treblinka in 1942. David Sosnovich, born in 1919 in Warsaw, Poland, died in Pontown, 1943. Joshua Sosnovich, born in 1930 in Ostrowicz, Poland, and died in Treblinka, 1942.
Janko Szmarkowicz, age 32, from Poland, killed in Riga, Latvia, 1945. Liba Szmarkowicz, age 66, from Poland, killed in Daugavpils, Latvia, 1941. Irena Boritz, age 19, from Poland, killed in Lvov, Poland, 1941. Andrei Leb, age 24, from Romania, killed in Ukraine, then USSR, 1944. Helena Gal, age 44, from Czechoslovakia, killed in Auschwitz on April 6, 1944. Helena Lustugova, age 21, from Czechoslovakia, killed in Majdanek in 1942.
Molka Sapozhnikov, age 26, Berdichev, Zhytomyr, Ukraine, died 1942. Riva Sapozhnikov, age 24, Berdichev, Zhytomyr, Ukraine, died 1942. Rukol Sapozhnikov, age 20, Berdichev, Zhytomyr, Ukraine, died 1942. Bluma Vertlib, age 45, Antonovka, Polzai, Belarusia, died 15th of October, 1941. Kame Vertlib, age 54, Antonovka, Polzai, Belarusia, died 15th of October, 1941. Abram Steinberg, age 22, Pinsk, Polzai, Poland, died 1941. Yakov Vertlib, age 28, Köln, Rhine Province, Germany, died 13th of April, 1945. Nachman Steinberg, age 70, Pinsk, Polzai, Poland.
Dina Blank, 36, USSR, Berdichio, Ukraine, 1941. Lieb Blank, 61, USSR, Proskova, Ukraine, May 1941. Fretma Blinbaum, 22, Auschwitz, 1943. Raquel Braun, 32, Czechoslovakia, Auschwitz, 1944. Samuel Brand, 18, Poland, Blizek, 1942. Katja Brandbart, 50, Netherlands, Sobibor, 1943.
Dina Blank, 36 years old, from the USSR, killed in Berdichev, Ukraine, 1941. Lieb Blank, 61 years old, from the USSR, killed in Proskyrov, Ukraine, May 11, 1941. Freimeta Blinbaum, 22 years old, from France, killed in Auschwitz, 1943. Raquel Braun, 32 years old, from Czechoslovakia, killed in Auschwitz, 1944. Samuel Brand, 18 years old, from Poland, killed in Belchik in 1942. Katja Bradbart, 50 years old, from the Netherlands, killed in Sobibor in 1943.
Sarah Breiker, age 5, Minsk, Belarusia, February 3rd, 1942. Reese Brill, age 17, Warsaw, Poland, 1943. Meyer Brill, age 6, Bergen, Poland, 1943. Muja Brillian, age 17, Mogilev, Belarusia, 1941. Etia Bromberg, age 11, Odessa, Ukraine, 1942. Chaim Bromberg, age 7, Odessa, Ukraine, 1942.
Shifra Goldstein, age 6, from Poland, died in Majdanek in 1942. Yeshahu Goldwasser, age 15, from Poland, died in Treblinka in 1942. Risik Goldwasser, age 16, from Poland, died in Treblinka on August 20th, 1942. Liza Goldsman, age 8, from Ukraine, died in Ukraine on August 19, 1941. Yakov Gornstein, age 17, from Ukraine, died in Ukraine on September 10, 1943. Ari Gotsman, age 12, from Czechoslovakia, died in Auschwitz in 1944.
Pesha Kretschmer, 58, USSR, Batsavici, Belarusia, USSR, 1941. Kasha Rubinchik, 47, USSR, Slavichlech, Belarusia, USSR, 1941. Natalie Israel, 76, Germany. Theresienstadt, Czechoslovakia, August 5th, 1945. Clara Goffman, 39, USSR, Odessa, Ukraine, USSR, 1941. Hirsch Gradowczyk, 67, Poland, Treblinka, 1942. Josef Uvitsky, 33, USSR, Orel, Russia, USSR, 1943. Yefim Volodarsky, 36, USSR, Ukraine, USSR, 1941.
Yanko Sharmakovits, 32, Poland, Riga, Latvia, 1945. Liba Sharmakovich, 66, Poland, Daugavpils, Latvia, 1941. Andrei Leb, 24, Romania, Ukraine, USSR, 1944. Helena Gal, 44, Czechoslovakia, Auschwitz, April 6, 1944. Helena Lugostova, 21, Czechoslovakia, Madadonek, 1942. Irina Bortus, 19, Poland, Lwów, Poland, 1941.
Roland Cohen, 22, Athens, Germany, 1944.
Jacques Kohn, 56, Poland, Auschwitz, 1942. Leah Kohn, 50, Hungary, Auschwitz, January 5th, 1944. Hanna Laub, 61, Poland, Auschwitz, 1940. Nini Lazar, 25, Poland, Majdanek, 1942. Erno Lotman, 46, Banya, Auschwitz, 1944.
Rubin Feinstein, father was Shalomo from Angvosti, USSR, died at age 2 in Kamamitis, Podolsky, Ukraine on August 5th, 1942. Rubin Feinstein, father was Lieb from Odessa, Romania, died at age 15 in Ukraine in 1942. Sarah Feinstein, father was Lieb from Odessa, Romania, died at age 10 in Ukraine in 1942. Hanna Weisfeld, father was Ben from Kaunas, Lithuania, died at age 4 in Lithuania in 1942. Haya Weisfeld, father was Lieb from Chisinau, Romania, died at age 2 in Besabera, Romania in 1941.
Anna Lurie, 53, Estonia, Tallinn, Estonia, 1941. Kuba Branin, 35, Poland, Riga, Latvia, 1941. Arcadia Lurie, 29, Estonia, Tallinn, Estonia, 1941. Biel Permel, 44, Poland, Stutthof Camp, 1944. Valentina Klumpus, 23, Estonia, Tallinn, Estonia, 1941. Osna Blyden, 45, Poland, Riga, Latvia, 1941. Israel Liepard, 46, Poland, Liepāja, Latvia, 1941.
Aaron Leeuwen from the Netherlands, 77 years old, killed at Auschwitz in 1943. Isaac Galenzer from Poland, 55 years old, killed at Auschwitz in 1943. Batsheva Albin from Tarnopol, Poland, 35 years old, killed at Auschwitz in 1942. Lieser Katznelson from Leningrad, Russia, 19 years old, killed in 1941. Moshe Postalov from Odessa, Ukraine, 30 years old, killed in 1941. Fanya Rabinovich from Minsk, Belarusia, 62 years old, killed in 1942.
Esther Pollock, 33, killed in Poland, 1942. Yosef Bluvenstein, 26, killed in Ukraine, USSR, 1941. Frida Friedman, 36, killed at Auschwitz, April 1, 1944. Moishe Mogilevsky, 51, killed in Ukraine, USSR, 1941. Raphael Mogilevsky, 47, killed in Ukraine, USSR, 1941. Raquel Farenstein, 38, killed in Ukraine, USSR, May 30th, 1942. Tima Bader, 41, killed in Uzbekistan, USSR, April 1, 1942.
Hugo Mayer, 78, Germany. No, France, 1942. Boris Kudoretsky, 39, USSR, Kharkov, Ukraine, USSR, September 8th, 1943. Heel Akierman, 61, Poland. Wolano Kielce, Poland, 1941. Jedeli Akierman, 31, Poland, Belzec, 1941. Avram Gusovsky, 49, USSR. Kremenchug, Poltava, Ukraine, USSR, 1941. Jacob Newberg, 29, Poland, Lwow, Poland, 1941.
Meyer Kalman, age 50, from Poland, died in Treblinka in 1942. Estera Kalman, age 49, from Poland, died in Treblinka in 1942. Eugene Fish, age 65, from Hungary, died in Auschwitz, June the 6th, 1944. Stefan Fuchs, age 40, from Hungary, died in Voronezh, Russia, 1942. Agnes Fuchs, age 31, from Czechoslovakia, died in Auschwitz, June the 6th, 1944. Bella Fuchs, age 39, from Czechoslovakia, died in Bornau, Germany, in 1944. Nekha Katarginski, age 26, from Poland, died in Wilno, Poland, 1941.
Hersebet Tufel, 32, resided in Hungary, killed in Auschwitz, 1944. Hedwig Tusch, age 25, resided in Germany, killed in Latvia, November 30th, 1941. Hinda Kirschenbaum, age 59, Czechoslovakia, killed in Auschwitz, 1944. Jacob Tannenbaum, age 45, resided in Poland, killed in Mauthausen, December 12th, 1944. Jonas Tannenbaum, age 47, Poland, resided in Poland, killed in Poland, 1943. Nathan Trupfeder, age 66, resided in Austria, killed in Italy, 1944.
Today, we meet to remember the victims of the Shoah. Unto every person there is a name, gives names back to those who were stripped of their identities before they were robbed of their lives. By reciting their names, along with their place of death, we remember that each victim was an individual, a son or a daughter, a sister or a brother, a child or a parent. Each had hopes and dreams, and like all people, each life was precious. We, the living, bear witness today, not just here, but in places around the world. Together, we affirm that the innocent lives lost in the Holocaust have not and will not be forgotten. Their names will always be remembered. B'nai B'rith, in cooperation with Yad Vashem, coordinates this name reading program in the United States. Most of the victims remembered are supplied by Yad Vashem. However, to emphasize how the Holocaust touches many of us in a personal way, we also read names submitted to us by those in our local community. Elected officials from across the region, as well as students from Gesher JDS, Berman Hebrew Academy, and CES JDS, have joined us to read the names.
Kalman Yitzchak Laikach, Bas Sheva Laikach, Esther Riva Laikach Dem, Yitzchak Dov Dem, Nachman Dem, age 20, Chaya Dem, age 18, Levesh Dem, age 16, Miriam Dem, age 15.
Moise Lekach, Gisya Lekach, Soise Lekach, age 5. Nachman David Lekach, age 2. Chaya Lekach Pinsky, Chaim Leb Pinsky, Marim Rise Pinsky, age 11. Nachman Pinsky, age 15. Ita Pinsky, age 8.
Sonia Khan, age 16. Avram Khan, age 13. Basia Khan, age 12. Chava Khan, age 10. Lifsha Kufris Pasirnik, Motel Pasirnik, age 1. Dobi Teitelbaum, age 18.
Sina Lekach Goitrach, Nucham Goitrach, Miriam Etzel Goitrach, age 11. Chaya Leah Goitrach, age 7. Malki Goitrach, age 2. Ete Baile Lekach, Mindel Chorus, Toby Chorus Khan, Isaac Khan.
Baum, Bronia Jacob,
11. Poland, Treblinka, 1942. Becker, Esther Shlomo, 14. Poland, 1942. Becker, Yehoshua Shlomi, 16. Poland, 1942. Benenson, Grigory Moisey, 8. Krupke Minsk, USSR, 1941. Benenson, Leiby Moisey, 2. Krupke Minsk, USSR, 1941. Benenson, Nina Moisey, 12. Minsk, USSR, 1941. Benenson, Pezia Moisey, 15. Minsk, 1941. Betarivka Shmilek, age 14, USSR Lochishk, Kamenets Podolsky, Ukraine, September 21st, 1942. Betarudi Shmilek, age 17, USSR Lochishk, Kamenets Podolsky, Ukraine, September 21st, 1942. Better Yitzchak Shmilek, age 5, USSR Lochishk, Kamenets Podolsky, Ukraine, September 21st, 1942. Better Yitzchak Moshe, age 8, USSR Lochishk, Kamenets Podolsky, Ukraine, September 21st, 1942. Butler Heinrich Jan, age 3, Czechoslovakia, Auschwitz, July 11th, 1944. Byler Vila Nuchim, age 4, Poland Rovno, Volin, Poland, November 8th, 1941.
Averbachmania Yefim, 13, USSR, Barvanitsa, Ukraine, 1941. Bagnora Emanuel, 5, Latvia, Rumbula, Latvia, November 30th, 1941. Bain Freilu Yitzchak, 5, Poland, 1943, Majdanek. Bakom Menachem Eliezer, 15, Poland, Auschwitz, 1942. Balan Eva Laszlo, 6, Hungary, Auschwitz, 1944. Balan Peter Laszlo, 6, Hungary, Auschwitz, 1944. Balam Lazar Aron, 13, Poland, Chelmno, 1942.
Averbukh Manya Yefim, 13, USSR, Venetia, Ukraine, 1941. Bagnora Emanuel, 5, Latvia, Rumbula, Latvia, 1941. Bain Frida Yitzchak, 5, Poland, Majdanek, 1943. Bakom Menachem Elazar, 15, Poland, Auschwitz, 1942. Balan Eva Laszlo, 6, Hungary, Auschwitz, 1944. Balan Peter Laszlo, 13, Hungary, Auschwitz, 1944. Balzam Lazar Aron, 13, Poland, Chelmno, 1942.
Slava Cohen, born in 1873, murdered in Dykor Minsk region in 1941. Esther Toledano, murdered in Poland in 1944. Rebecca Comhe, murdered in Poland in 1944. Slava Zimmerman, born in 1881 and murdered in Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine in 1941. Abraham Zimmerman, born in 1912 and murdered in Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine in 1942. Sonia Zimmerman, born in 1913 and murdered in Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine in 1941. Mila Zimmerman, born in 1937 and murdered in Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine in 1941. Vera Zimmerman, born in 1939 and murdered in Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine in 1941.
Eshia Belkin, born 1885 and murdered in Baksevetsy, Belarus in 1941. Nohim Belkin, born in 1920 and murdered in Baksevetsy, Belarus in 1941. Favo, born in 1873 and murdered in Kursk in 1941. Adolf, born in 1924 and murdered in Poltava in 1943. Berta, born in 1896 and murdered in Latvia in 1941. Riva Rosenfeld, born in 1882 and murdered in Pekora camp in 1942. Dvora Kornane, born in 1880 and murdered in Pekora camp in 1942. Rachel Goshevich, born in 1920 and murdered in Bucora Camp in 1943.
Ferdinand Stiebel, born in 1885 and murdered in Theresienstadt in 1943.
Paul Volinsky, born in 1859 and murdered in the Odessa region, burned out in a nursing facility in 1941. Bashever Meyerson, born in 1916 and murdered in Chernushka in 1941. Peser Bergman, born in 1900 and murdered in Warsaw in 1944. David Bergman, born in 1923 and murdered in Warsaw in 1944. Israel Sapiro, murdered in Odessa in 1943.
Willie Stiebel, born in 1887 and murdered in Hadamar in 1941. Gertrude Stiebel, born in 1892 and murdered in Theresienstadt in 1943. Ella Florsheim, born in 1880 and murdered in 1941. Leo Rabunchik, born in 1894 and murdered in Leningrad in 1942. Simon Rabunchik, born in 1923 and murdered in Leningrad in 1942. Iosef Rabunchik, born in 1925 and murdered in Leningrad in 1942. Abraham Hirsch Sosnowitz, born in 1889 and murdered in Treblinka in 1942.
Astra Basia Sosnowich, born in 1890 and murdered in Treblinka in 1942. David Sosnowich, born in 1919 and murdered in Pontow in 1943. Yehoshua Sosnowich, born in 1930 and murdered in Treblinka in 1942. Yitzhak Sosnowich, born in 1932 and murdered in Treblinka in 1942. Sofia Igolnikova, born in 1905 and murdered in Babi Yar, Ukraine on September 19, 1941. Senya Igolnikov, born in 1926 and murdered in Babi Yar, Ukraine on September 19, 1941. Galina Igolnikova, born in 1934 and murdered in Babi Yar, Ukraine on September 19, 1941. Sima Lerner and 28 members of her family, born in 1870 and murdered in Babi Yar, Ukraine on September 19, 1941.
Epstein, born in 1880 and murdered in Kromki, Belarusia in 1941. Leba Epstein, born in 1912 and murdered in Khaskiki, Belarusia in 1941. Ida Epstein, born in 1915 and murdered in Krasnoloki in Belarusia in 1941. Sonia Dekhtar, born in 1921 and murdered in Leno, Belarusia in 1941. Hava Dekhtar, born in 1923 and murdered in Leno, Belarusia in 1941. Moisey, born in 1869 and murdered in Mariupol in 1941. Rachel Reckman, born in 1878 and murdered on the road in 1941. Mikhail Goldfarb, born in 1921 and murdered in the army in 1944.
Aaron Goldfarb, born in 1942 and murdered in Bucharest in 1944. Polek Shura, born in 1894 and murdered in Babi Yar, Ukraine in 1941. Aziz Kugelman, born in 1894 and murdered in Babi Yar, Ukraine in 1941. Esther Cohn, born in 1914 and murdered in Lithuania in 1941. Iosef Cohn, born in 1906 and murdered in Leningrad in 1943. Aaron Cohn, born in 1920 and murdered in Crimea in 1941. Chaim Cohn, born in 1912 and murdered near Minsk in 1941. Vladimir Cohn, born in 1917 and murdered near Leningrad in 1943.
Petya, murdered in Mogilev, Belarus. Leba, murdered in Mogilev, Belarus. Aaron, murdered in Mogilev, Belarus. Isaac, born in 1920 and murdered in Mogilev, Belarus. Asa, born in 1931 and murdered in Mogilev, Belarus. Rosita, born in 1930 and murdered in Mogilev, Belarus. Fenesh Buntova, born in 1914 and murdered in Belarus in 1941.
David, born in 1897 and murdered in Mogilev, Belarus. Esther, born in 1898 and murdered in Mogilev, Belarus. Sonia, murdered in Mogilev, Belarus. Boris, murdered in Mogilev, Belarus. Haska, murdered in Mogilev, Belarus. Haya, murdered in Mogilev, Belarus. Bella, murdered in Mogilev, Belarus.
Abraham Krems, age 26, from Poland, died in Poland in 1942. Shalom Anbinder, age 28, from Poland, died in Poland 1941. Simcha Anbinder, age 28, from Poland, died in Treblinka in 1942. Boryula Kling, age 48, from the USSR, died in Ukraine on December 7, 1943. Maria Kling, age 42, from the USSR, died in Ukraine on September 1st, 1942. Basha Kling, age 44, from the USSR, died in Ukraine on September 1st, 1942.
Ehrlich Polina Victor, age 15, USSR, Odessa, Ukraine, 1941. Estrin Raquel Moisai, age 16, Poland, Gluboki Wilno, Poland, August 20th, 1943. Ezrati Isaac Joseph, age 1, Greece, Auschwitz, April 26, 1943. Fabrikovich Abba Meyer, age 14, Lithuania, Pandelis, Lithuania, August 1st, 1941. Fas Scheindel Mendel, age 4, Poland, Camp Limburg, 1942. Forkach Josef Mannheim, age 5, Romania, Auschwitz, 1944.
Yedel Gutman, age 22, from Romania, Mogilev, died in USSR, 1942. Rachel Gelbart, age 40, from Poland, died in Auschwitz, 1942. Jacob Dion, from Lithuania, Petroshan, died in Lithuania, June 1st, 1941. Ephraim Vinman, age 35, from Vinkovitsky, Ukraine, died USSR, May 1st, 1942. Klara Weinstein, age 48, from Czechoslovakia, died in Auschwitz, January 31st, 1943. Feiga Weisberg, age 18, from Romania, died in USSR, 1944. Bezla Trabolowski, age 40, from Poland, died in Majdanek, 1941. Erzsébet Tufel, age 32, from Hungary, died in Auschwitz, 1944.
Devosha Livshitz, 31 years old, USSR, lived in Gomel, died in Gomel, Belarusia, in 1943. Eontel Schinderman, age 50, lived in USSR, died in Mariupol, Ukraine, 1941. Mikhail Golik, 29, USSR, died in Mariupol, Ukraine, 1941. Robert Tausik, just 22, Czechoslovakia, died in Auschwitz, 1942. Mikhail Gendler, 21, USSR, murdered in Mariupol, Ukraine, 1941. Yakov Gendler, 49, USSR, Mariupol, Ukraine, is where he was murdered in 1941. And finally, Raquel Gendler, 49, USSR, gone in Mariupol, Ukraine, 1941.
Roland Cohen, age 22, from Athens, killed in Germany, 1944. Isaac Cohen, age 56, from Poland, killed at Auschwitz in 1942. Leah Cohen, aged 50, from Hungary, killed at Auschwitz on May 1st, 1944. Chana Laub, aged 61, from Poland, killed at Auschwitz in 1940. Neni Lazar, aged 25, from Poland, killed at Majdanek in 1942. Erno Lautman, aged 46, from Banya, killed at Auschwitz in 1944.
Raquel Ezra was 65, lived in Greece, and was murdered in Auschwitz in 1943. Irmgard Olsner was 29, lived in Germany, and was murdered in Auschwitz in 1943. Mikala Engelman was 31, lived in Romania and was murdered in Auschwitz in 1944. Naftal Engel was 39, lived in Poland, and was murdered in Twarniki, Lublin, Poland on January 5th, 1943. Egnak Enten was 42, lived in Hungary, and was murdered in Auschwitz in 1944. Mendel Aaron Kranik was 39, lived in Poland, and was murdered in Dolha, Poland in 1942.
Adolf Farkas, 38, lived in Hungary, killed in Germany, 1944. Jades Farkas, 44, lived in Romania, killed in Auschwitz, January 6, 1944. Lily Farkas, 32, lived in Romania, killed at Auschwitz, 1944. Usher Folkenflig, 25, lived in Romania, killed in Novoselica, Romania, January 7, 1941. Rashmi Folkenflik, 52, lived in Poland, killed at Treblinka, January 10, 1943. Grisha Fudaman, 30, lived in the USSR, killed at Vinkovsky, Ukraine, USSR, January 5, 1942. Yoina Fudiman, 43, lived in the USSR, killed at Vinkovsky, Ukraine, USSR, January 8, 1941.
Abram Eating, age 38, place of residence, USSR, killed in Königsberg, East Prussia, Germany. Date of death, March 13, 1945. Yankel Kramer, age 60, place of residence, USSR, killed in Gießen, Ukraine, USSR. Died in 1941. Israel Rabinovich, age 61, place of residence, USSR. Gorkai, killed in Belarusia, USSR, date of death, October 6, 1941. Pavel Rabinovich, age 61, place of residence, USSR, Gorkai, killed in Belarusia, USSR, date of death, October 6, 1941. Abram Rabinovich, age 19, place of residence, USSR, killed in Stalingrad, Russia, USSR, died in 1943. Abram Borisov, age 58, place of residence, USSR, killed in Babi Yar, date of death, September 30th, 1941.
Devozha Lifshitz, age 31, from the USSR, died in Belarusia in 1943. Ayantel Shinderman, age 50, from the USSR, died in Ukraine, SSR, 1941. Mikhail Golik, age 29, from the USSR, died in Ukraine, SSR, in 1941. Robert Tausig, age 22, from Czechoslovakia, died in Auschwitz in 1942. Mikhail Gendler, age 21, from the USSR, died in Ukraine, SSR, in 1941. Yakov Gendler, age 46, from the USSR, died in Ukraine, SSR, in 1941. Rachel Gendler, 49, from the USSR, died in Ukraine, SSR, in 1941.
Dora Bank, age 7, born in the USSR, died in Minsk, Belarus on the 28th of July, 1942. Sophia Bank, age 1, born in the USSR, died in Minsk, Belarus on July 28, 1942. Galina Bankin, age 17, born in the USSR, died in Crimea, Russia, November the 29th, 1941. Judith Bardos, age 8, born in Hungary, died in Auschwitz, 1944. Vera Bardos, age 15, born in Hungary, died in Auschwitz, 1944. Oxy Barth, age 8, born in Hungary, died in Auschwitz, 1944.
Brandel Biner, 43, lived in the USSR, killed in Ukraine in 1941. Ida Dinker, 40, lived in the USSR, killed in Ukraine in 1941. Chaya Garfunkel, 30, lived in Poland, killed in Latvia on July 10, 1941. Miriam Davidson, 30, lived in Poland, died in Latvia on July 10, 1941. Polina Schwartz, 20, lived in the USSR, died in Ukraine in 1942. Kana Schwartz, 45, lived in the USSR, died in Ukraine in 1942. Rakhmiel Polis, 40, lived in Poland, died in Poland in 1940.
Józef Joskowiec, 60, Poland Lodz, Poland, 1942. Samuel Katz, 57, Poland, Boryslaw, Poland, 1942. Samuel Katz, 42, Poland Belzec, 1942. Shander Katz, 42, Rakchobo, Auschwitz, 1942. Esther Cohen, 49, Netherlands, Auschwitz, 12/10/1942. Bluma Kohn, 58, Poland Lodz, Poland, 1943. Mary Cohen, 43, Greece, Auschwitz, 1943.
Bat Swea Verwasser, 39, Poland. Lunik, Polisi, Poland, 1941. Yehusua Fischer, 66, Hungary, Auschwitz, May 23, 1944. Helena Wiet, 75, Germany, Theresienstadt, Czechoslovakia, April 9, 1942. Benzion Federman, 19, Poland, Auschwitz, 1944. Bat Shiva Frucht, 23, Poland, Treblinka, 1942. Kiva Kapustin, 61, USSR, Rekshitsa Gomel, Belarus, in 1941.
Basha Yehuda Weinstein, age 8, born in Poland, died in Auschwitz in 1943. Esther Haim Weinstein, age 13, born in Poland, died in Auschwitz in 1943. Musha Lieb Weinstein, age 4, born in Poland, died in Auschwitz in 1943. Sonia Lieb Weinstein, age 16, born in Poland, died in Auschwitz in 1943. Vila Lieb Weinstein, age 17, born in Poland, died in Auschwitz in 1943. Hinak Aaron Weintraub, age 15, born in Poland, died in Treblinka in 1943.
Lyubov Lvov, 78, of the Soviet Union, died in Babi Yar, 1943. Miatek Alimbik, 34, of Poland, died in Auschwitz, 1943. Sala Alimbik, 20, of Poland, died in Auschwitz, 1943. Severin Alimbik, 33, of Poland, died in Auschwitz, 1943. Semyon Berezovsky, 65, of the Soviet Union, died in Drobitsky Yar, Ukraine, 1941.
Bela Berezovsky, 45, of the Soviet Union, died in Drobetsky Yar in Ukraine, 1941. Kaya Rabinovich, 61, of the Soviet Union, died in Drobetsky Yar, Ukraine, 1941.
Georges Levy, age 43, lived in France, killed in Elrich, Saxony, Germany on February 18, 1945. Lubov Levin, age 56, lived in the USSR, killed in Palkino, Russia, USSR on January 7, 1941. David Lukowicz, age 22, lived in Poland, killed in Leszno, Poland, 1941. Max Kohn, age 76, lived in Germany, killed in Rivesaltes, France, 1941. Deso Lawrence, age 43, lived in Romania, killed in Auschwitz, 1944. Benzion Mazur, age 38, lived in the USSR, killed in Stalingrad, Russia, USSR on September 22, 1943.
Randall Biner, age 43, USSR Zhytomyr, Ukraine, USSR, 1941. Ida Dinker, age 40, USSR Khmelnyk, Vinnytsia, Ukraine, 1941. Haya Garfinkel, 38, Poland, Riga, Latvia, 1941. Miriam Davidson, 30, Poland, Riga, Latvia, 1941. Polina Schwartz, 20, USSR, Alexandria, Ukraine, 1942. Kana Schwartz, 45, USSR, Alexandria, Ukraine, 1942. Rachmiel Polis, 40, Poland, Warszawa, Poland, 1940.
Vel Kazan, 53, USSR, Yubimovka, Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine, USSR, 1942. Clara Adler, 47, Germany, Riga, Latvia, 1941. Raquel Kazan, 40, USSR, Yubimovka, Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine, USSR, 1942. Mina Friedberger, 47, Germany, Riga, Latvia, 1941. Hermann Einstein, 62, Germany, Stuttgart-Ortenburg, Germany, 1940. Laura Arnold, 53, Poland-Lwów, Poland, 1943.
George Levy, 43, France, Elrich, Saxony, Germany, February 18, 1943. Lubov Levin, 56, USSR, Palkonin, Russia, July 1, 1941. David Lekowitz, 22, Poland, Leszno, Poland, 1941. Max Cohen, 76, Germany, Rivesaltes, France, 1941. Deso Lorenz, 43, Romania, Auschwitz, 1944. Benzion Mazur, 38, USSR, Stalingrad, Russia, September 22, 1943.
Judith Joskowitz, age 60, from Poland, killed in Łódź, Poland, 1942. Samuel Katz, age 57, from Poland, killed in Boryslaw, Poland, 1942. Shandor Katz, age 42, from the Ukraine, killed in Auschwitz in 1944. Samuel Katz, age 42, from Poland, killed in Belzec, 1942. Esther Cohen, age 49, from the Netherlands, killed in 1942. Bluma Khan, age 58, from Poland, killed in Łódź, Poland, 1943. Marie Cohen, age 43, from Greece, killed in Auschwitz, 1943.
Polina Eklich, age 15, from USSR, died in Odessa, Ukraine in 1941. Raquel Estrin, age 16, from Gluboki, Poland, died in Wilno, Poland on August 20th, 1943. Isaac Esrati, age 1, from Greece, died in Auschwitz on April 26, 1943. Abba Fabrikvich, age 14, from Pandelis, Lithuania, died in Lithuania on January 8, 1941. Shandel Faz, age 4, from Limburg, Poland, died in camp on 1943. Joseph Forlach, age 5, from Romania, died in Auschwitz in 1944.